Welcome on board the Simba 1. My name is Brad. I'll be your safari guide today here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. While on board the Simba 1, please do remain seated at all times, keeping the hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the Simba 1 at all times. Thank you so much. Now, this Harambe Wildlife Reserve is approximately 110 acres large, made up from 4 different regions, or 4 different ecosystems. The first one here that we're just now entering, this is the Little Atiri Forest. On your right hand side is where you'll see an okapi in between the bamboo bundles. And there's stripes on their legs, undeniably like the stripes of a zebra. Yet the okapi has no relation to zebras whatsoever. In fact, okapis are the only known living relatives of giraffes. Okapis and giraffes, they have a very similar skeletal structure. On the left-hand side is where you'll see a saddle-billed stork. And on your right-hand side as well. These 2 saddle-billed storks, they are partnered up in this life. They could stand 5 feet tall with a 9-foot wingspan. They're massive. Because their wingspan is so huge, they built themselves a big nest at the top of the hill, on top of the green shrubs. That is their nest on your right-hand side. It took those 2 storks about a month to build their home there. And they do regular maintenance work on it almost every single day. Throughout the reserve today, we'll be counting antelopes. There are many different species of antelopes throughout Africa, kind of like how there's different species of dogs, and I always try to keep track of all the antelopes that we wind up seeing out here. Antelope number 1 is on your left-hand side at the top of the hill with the horns on their heads. They're called bongos. At the bottom of the hill, they look just like deer here in the sunlight, but they're not deer. They are antelope number 2, greater kudus. Greater kudus are some of the tallest antelopes throughout all of Africa. They could grow as tall as 55 inches just to the shoulders when they're fully grown. We're going to see many different species of antelopes throughout the reserve today. But for now, we have left the first region of the reserve. The forest is behind us. The second region of the reserve, this is the Safi River. On your right-hand side, living along the river, there's a number of pelicans. A lot of them are up this way in the sunlight. Although, I say a lot of them. In truth, there's really not a whole lot of pelicans here. Some colonies of pelicans can include up to 500 pelicans. Specifically, they're called pinkback pelicans. It's tough to see while they're all tucked away like this, but they do have pinkish colors on their bodies beneath their wings, particularly on their backs. Hippo on your left. The Nile hippopotamus. They could weigh up to 5,000 pounds when they're fully grown, and they will spend most of their day in the water, especially during the warmest parts of the year. The water helps to regulate their body temperature and to keep them nice and cool. Hippos, they're so comfortable in the water, they're quite good at swimming through it. I know a lot of folks think that hippos are not swimmers. That hippo is literally swimming through the water right now, paddling their limbs, pushing themselves through the water. But their big bodies do allow them to sink to the bottom of the water, and they'll push off the floor and glide from there. That's kind of like walking or gliding underwater. That is definitely their preferred method of movement through the water, if you will. The hippo on our left-hand side currently doing that gliding underwater method, if you will. On your left, beyond that thin stretch of grass, there's a Nile crocodile about halfway out of the water. They could stretch from 16 to 18 feet in length, and they could weigh as much as 500 pounds when fully grown. A reminder, friends, to have everyone seated at all times. Hello, my friends towards the back. I need everyone seated at all times. Thank you so much, friends. Yes. We definitely want to remain seated on any moving Disney ride, especially if your moving Disney vehicle is on a wooden bridge on top of a Nile crocodile. That's definitely where you want to remain seated at all times. Remember, friends, these animals are real. We're going to continue on deeper into the reserve. We'll see who else is out there for us today. We've been through the forest, we've been through the river. The third region around the corner will be the savanna, and that's the grasslands of Africa, where the animals start to get more familiar. Animals like zebras, giraffes, elephants, if we're lucky, maybe even a lion. On your right, that's called a baobab tree. You're going to see a few like them out there on the savanna. Baobab trees will remain massive and leafless in that fashion for most of the year, for like 10 or 11 months. That's how a baobab tree looks. Any water that the baobab tree collects, that water is not going to the branches to feed the leaves. That water is typically stored in the tree trunk of the baobab tree, and that would help the baobab tree survive the warm African climate. And that water storage strategy, it really does work. The baobab trees can live up to 1,000 years out on the African savannas. The giraffes who we see today, and you're definitely going to see giraffes today. I've spotted at least 2 already. They're called Maasai giraffes, and they are the tallest animals on land. A giraffe's height will range from 18 to 20 feet when fully grown. I've seen 2 giraffes so far. Make it 4 giraffes I've seen so far. On your right-hand side, next to the giraffe, there's a wildebeest with a gray coat, antelope number 3. Wildebeest are known for leading the Great Migration across the African savanna. The Great Migration is essentially a search. During that Great Migration, the wildebeest lead the way, searching for fresher grass to eat. This migration oftentimes includes more than 1 million migrating wildebeests. Around the corner on your left, antelope number 4. There's probably 2 or 3 of them back there in the tall grasses. They're sable antelopes, the official emblems of this Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They'll use that very versatile set of horns on their head, good for a forward charge and for rear defense as well. Both are very effective defensive strategies against would-be predators. On your left, there's a dazzle. A dazzle is a gathering of zebras. Now, there are 3 major species of zebras throughout Africa. We can tell the difference between the 3 based on the stripe patterns that distinguish them. Hartman's mountain zebras on your left, their stripes are always wider on their upper hind legs compared to the rest of their body. And again, they are the tallest animals on land. A giraffe's height will range from 18 to 20 feet. Yes, hello giraffe. And their tongues can stretch up to 18 inches long, helping them reach the hard-to-get branches and leaves above their heads and out in front of them. We'll catch up with the giraffe in just a moment, it seems like. On your left right now, there are Ankole cattle. They are members of the Longhorn family. Ankole cattle are the finest individual grazers who live on this reserve, in terms of animals who are commonly domesticated by farmers and ranchers. One Ankoli cattle could eat over 100 pounds worth of grass every single day, and that can be very beneficial for the farmers who do domesticate them. On your right-hand side, past the giraffes, actually, past the dirt road in the shadows, right before they walk into the tree line there is a springbok with the white belly and skinny legs. Springboks will be today's antelope number 5 we're up to already, the beloved national animals of South Africa. You might see a few other springboks, again, heading into the tree line on the right-hand side. Happy we saw them before they completely disappeared from us. And the springboks were antelope number 5. The 2 in the forest, wildebeest, sables, yep, we're up to 5 so far. Oh, this should be interesting. What interests me are the trees. If you look around, all the trees are doing pretty good actually. Planted in the earth, strong trunks with green leaves. I do not see deforestation around here. I do not see a massive storm that came by and knocked over all the trees. I just see one tree on your right-hand side, kind of bulldozed off to the side. Now, it wasn't deforestation, it wasn't a storm, and I don't think it was people either. If people did that, a small group of people, they take the tree with them to use for resources. The question is, who knocks over a tree just to really leave it there? The answer's on your right-hand side. They're like the natural bulldozers of the savanna. African elephants, they can and they will bulldoze trees to the ground one at a time. They'll make way for watering holes, food regions, migratory paths. There's a few different reasons why elephants may bring down a tree. But almost every time an elephant takes down a tree, they're going to enjoy the branches and leaves that come down with it. I said elephants knock over a tree and they leave it there. It kind of made them sound bad. It's not bad. If you looked at that tree back there, you would have noticed that there were no more small branches or leaves left. When elephants knock over a tree, they essentially built themselves an all-you-can-eat buffet bar. Now there are several elephants who live here at Harambe Wildlife Reserve, not just the 3 who we saw back there. Right now, we're just going deeper into elephant territory. Deeper into elephant territory we go. Any other elephants that you might see today? I hope we get to see them. But any other elephants that we would see today would be on your left-hand side. To your left, this is all elephant territory. It stretches quite a ways further back, and it stretches for quite a ways down this road. If you look on your left-hand side, you might see a couple of elephants way out in the distance, maybe 100 meters to our left. We'll see if there's a closer look at the beautiful giants around the corner here. The little elephant you might see on your left-hand side now, based on her size, we predict she must be around 2 years old, maybe a little bit older. Elephants, they tend to raise their little ones for up to 16 years.
They're coming over here.
boulder would be in a great viewing opportunity from down here.
Oh, there's
But
one.
she's perfectly blocked by the baobab tree on our left-hand side, of course. Kind of going back to the baobab trees, remember, they store the water on the inner layers of the tree trunk to help survive the warmest climate. Oh, there she is, the little boulder with legs, enjoying her branches and leaves. Elephants have been known to dig into baobab trees. It's why these baobab tree trunks are actually torn apart. They have some wear and tear to them. Elephants, during a drought, they'll gain access to the more soaked in water inner layers of tree bark, and by eating those layers of tree bark, that could save an elephant's life during a season of scarce water sources. So the baobab tree, not only do they live up to 1,000 years, but they can save an elephant's life throughout their lifetime as well. On your left, there are flamingos. A gathering of flamingos is called a flamboyance. These are greater flamingos. They'll reach their full size in about their first year, and they get their iconic pink color from their pinkish diet. It is the protein in their food where they get their color from. And their diet does consist of a lot of algae, a lot of shrimp as well. On your right hand side, I do see at least one white rhino just off the edge of the road. White rhinos, typically where there's one, there are others. We oftentimes find them living as a community out here on the grasslands. So we'll keep our eyes peeled and we'll see if we can spot any other rhinos. Does anybody know what the antelope count is up to now? Very good eyes. I'm impressed that you saw them. Antelope number 6 or 7 we're up to now, I believe. That would be a water buck hiding over your right shoulders back there in the woods. Water bucks are very good at hiding like that, but they're also known for drinking copious amounts of water. They're great swimmers as well, which they'll use as a defense mechanism. So it's most likely that you're going to find water bucks near a lake or a river or some sort of stream, near any sort of body of water. On the left, there is a coalition, I believe. A coalition is a gathering of cheetahs. They're laying low on the ground to our left in the bottom left corner, if you will.
I don't see them.
Very difficult to see, but the coalition is definitely there. At least 2 cheetahs I see in that coalition. Sometimes it can be hard to tell how many there are exactly, but it seems another cheetah has emerged on her paws. And they are the fastest animals on land. Top speed of 60 miles per hour. That's right around 95 to 100 kilometers per hour. Now up ahead on your left, you're definitely going to see a kopie. And you're definitely going to see a lion. Kopies are the higher elevated land formations made from rocks. Pride Rock from the Lion King, that's a kopie. The lioness on your left-hand side staring right at you next to the kopie's tower. The kopies are basically the natural castles of the savannah, the perfect homes for the kings and queens of the savannah. Make no mistake about it, friends, the kings and queens around here are definitely lions. Again, on your right-hand side, not springboks, but water bucks. Those two aren't doing so good of a job at hiding as the other one was. On your left-hand side is where you might spot the sleeping king of the savannah. Despite being the kings and queens around here, lions are a very inactive species. Lions will remain inactive like this for up to 20 hours a day. Most of that inactivity is pure sleep. Lions are mostly active and most on their paws earliest in the morning near sunrise and latest in the day near sunset. Sunrise and sunset are by far and away the two most active times of day for the lion.
Oh wow!
Where there's one, there's always others. We oftentimes find them living as a community out here on the grasslands. I figured we'd see other white rhinos. I can see 5 white rhinos right now.
Ostrich! Rachel, let's get an ostrich picture. Oh my gosh, she's in her room. Oh, here comes another one.
White rhinos have these big cone-shaped ears that move back and forth and give them an excellent sense of hearing. And that's good. It helps make up for their not so excellent sense of sight, which cuts off only about 3 to 5 meters in front of them. White rhinos cannot see beyond that distance, only about 10 to 15 feet, really. On your left, the cheetah is the fastest animal on land. The ostrich is the fastest two-legged animal on land. The ostrich could run up to 40 miles per hour. It's right around 65 kilometers per hour. I'm sorry, right around, yeah, it is right around 60 to 65 kilometers per hour. I was a little bit confused there. But the ostrich, they are a flightless bird. We'll never see them fly through the air, yet they will still spread their wings to help maneuver left and right while they're running on the ground. And that would just about do it for our time on the savannah today. Friends, this is the 4th region of the reserve, which is called Magady's Glen. And currently, there's a rooftop party here at Magady's Glen, it looks like. Throwing their party are Nigerian dwarf goats. They're about the cutest animals who live on this reserve. They love to hang out up there. And they live here with the warden at the warden's post. Goats and humans are a really good example of a coexistent relationship. The goats, they'll provide humans with high-quality dairy products like butter, cheese, milk. Of course, the humans, they'll provide goats with living environments like that one. And like I said, they are about the cutest animals who live on this reserve. It's almost like you just want to hop out of the truck and go pet them. Well, if you do want to hop out of the truck and go pet them, I have good news. You can literally hop out of the truck and go pet them. At Rafiki's Planet Watch, please definitely don't hop out of the truck right now while it's in motion. But once we disembark from the Kilimanjaro Safari, our next door neighbors is a train station. You just heard the train go by. It takes you back to Rafiki's Planet Watch. At Rafiki's Planet Watch, there is the animal hospital where you could take a peek into the doctor's offices and the veterinarian's offices who take care of all the animals who live here. There is an animation course where one of our Disney animators will teach you how to draw a beloved Disney character. It will amaze you how good your animation will come out. And also, at Rafiki's Planet Watch, there is the affection section, a hands-on experience with some of the animals who live here in the animal kingdom, including Nigerian dwarf goats. You'll find them back there as well. All of those incredible experiences, again, can be found at Rafiki's Planet Watch. You need the train to get back there, and the train station, they are our next door neighbors. Last but not least, here at Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Goodbyes are too final and just too sad, so instead of saying goodbye, we like to say kwaherini, which means to go well in Swahili. Friends, kwaherini to each and every one of you. Go well, go wild, go safely. Have a wonderful rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.